Hello guys, my name is Nagul Meera. So basically, I'm a AI aspirant. So currently, I'm learning some of the concept related to AI and then AI engineering um, related topics. So as part of this my learning process, I would like to share what I learned and then what I'm going to explore. So these are the things I would like to share with you guys. So today, I'm going to showcase how AI pod coding agents will able to develop a end-to-end application without human or developer interference in the coding. So today, if you look at AI evolution, so especially like a software engineering side, there are several or different tools today. We can see it will exactly how developers are working, which means we call it as like a software engineering agent. So software engineering agents is a kind of a tools which really act as a real software developers. So especially the popular terminology, we call it as like a coding agent. So coding agents is a kind of a autonomous tools which act like a real developer. So today I'm going to provide you like a more details on like how we can use coding agents to achieve our development goals. As part of this session, so I'm going to use Claude Code. Claude Code is like a agentic coding tool. So that will really work like a real human developer, and then it can develop end-to-end applications. So as part of this session, it's like really it's very interesting session, and then you after completing this session, like you can feel like or you can have a confidence that you can use AI coding agents to achieve our development goals. So as part of this session, like we need to have some kind of a tools, or we need to have some prerequisites. Basically, my tool set, like I'm going to use today is like IntelliJ and then IntelliJ Cloud plugin, or we can directly use the Cloud CLI version as well. And then Cloud Code is that's what the tool we are using for developing our use case. And then I also use Cloud desktop version as well. So basically, anything you want to work with the Cloud Code or Cloud desktop, we need to have some kind of a subscription. So these are the like a primary prerequisites we need to have for today's session. So now let's get into what are the steps we need to do for as part of this session. The first, we need to install the Claude Code. So if you look at Claude Code website, you can have information to how to install the Claude Code. And as I said, like we need to have a subscription. So if you look at their Claude Code subscription model, you can see like a different kind of subscription modes, subscription offering. So right now I'm using the Claude Code Pro. I took the Claude desktop version, subscription, but I can also utilize for the Claude Code as well. That's the primary prerequisite. So if you look at the installation process, it's pretty easy. Most of the today's operating systems can have able to have run the Node.js. So if you could able to run the Node.js, then it's a very simple command that you can use the npm installation of Anthropic Claude Code. This is simple installation command. So I already did as part of my desktop. So now I have a Claude Code already installed in my machine. So once you have installed the Claude Code, just you need to log into the Claude Code account using your credentials. So once you log in successful, then it have like a kind of a handshaking, there may be creating some kind of a code or something we need to enter, and then that's why login handshake will complete it, so that you can able to use the Claude Code. So such a way, it means like it is connecting to the Anthropic models uh, um, uh, to complete your whatever the prompts are you're using. So to start the Claude code, we need to use the Claude. for example, if you go to your project location and then in the terminal you can use the Claude, then it will ask you for like a type something, like it means like ask you for some prompt or some requirement, then you can start working with the Claude code. So this is like pretty much like, like prerequisites and then installation of the Claude code. Then if you look at the Claude code IntelliJ plugin, as I said, like we have it, we can use different ways. Like if you want to use it as a standalone command line CLI, you can use the standalone command line CLI, or if you want to use as part of your favorite IDEs, like for example, I'm like more of like a Java guy, so I have a lot of experience in using IntelliJ IDE. So I'm using IntelliJ IDE plugin, Cloud Code plugin. It works same, like instead of your opening in the standalone CLI, as part of your IntelliJ CLI IntelliJ command line, it will open the Cloud Code. It's a pretty much same. For that, what you have to do, you can go to the IntelliJ marketplace. It's pretty straightforward thing for any developers. We already experienced installing the multiple IDE plugins, right? It's pretty much same like installing the Cloud Code plugin. So once we have done, either you have a CLI and or you have a IntelliJ plugin, anything works, so you can start using that one. So now let's talk about the third step, like prepare your use case requirements, right? So this is where very important thing I would like to give you more details on, like what are the today, like if you see like a AI powered coding assistants, right? We can categorize like a two different categories, like Gen 1 coding assistants and Gen 2 coding assistants, right? As part of generation 1 coding assistants, like for example like a Copilot or ChatGPT kind of AI models or AI chat interfaces, right? Or like you can also use it as part of your regular IDs, right? You simply ask for some kind of a code, then it will generate the code and it will give you as part of the chat interface, right? Usually like what we will do, like we'll copy that specific code, then we start using as part of your application, right? Similarly, like we are asking for, hey, can you write a unit test case for this specific function or specific method, then it will generate as part of the chat interface and then we copy. So this is called like a more of like a generation 1 coding assistance, right? That's also like as part of last few of like last year or before that, I started using that Copilot and then other chat GPT able to fulfill my requirement. I feel like that time is like it's awesome things. Later, as part of Gen 2 coding assistance, like that is called like we call it as like a agentic tools, right? So what agentic tools, right? Rather like we copy pasting or anything, agentic tool autonomously start working, and then it started creating a files, editing the files, and then if you ask for like, hey, can you fix this function bug, it automatically go and edit the file and fix it. And then it's like pretty much like executing everything like a commands and editing files without human intervention, right? So this is like a powerful kind of a system. So those called like a agentic code tools. So today the Claude code is nothing but like a Gen 2 AI powered coding assistant, which means like which autonomously can work like a developer without human intervention, like a developer intervention. So and also like the another important aspect for this agentic code tools, right? uh, Basically like we simply can give a high level human understandable requirements, but internally this agentic coding tools able to plan and then start creating a development plan, which very detailed development plan, like how a developer thinks, right? For example, a business team or business analyst will give you like a application requirements like in high level manner, but that will be translated into a developer understanding requirements or developer understandable plan, right? That's where like the human developer is like start thinking like what kind of technologies I have used and what kind of a backend system I have to use, or how do you plan, like how do you structure my code, like what kind of best practices I have follow, and then how do you start like following like some kind of a MVC framework and all, right? So these are all like as a human developer, like we keep thinking and then we keep understanding the requirement, high level requirement, and then we started translating to developer understandable development plan, right? So these are all like a big process in backend days, but if when it comes to this agentic coding tools, right, it's how human thinks, right? Like how human developer thinks. It's a similarly like much more beyond. So what it does, right? It take like a human understandable requirements, and then it go and then read that requirements, and it started like a planning. Like planning means like what kind of tools we can use, and then what is the backend system, how can I layer this application into multiple layers, like user interface layer, backend layer, and database layer. So it thinks like anything, like end to end plan, like, and also it started like a creating a files, like a coding files, like if it is a Java, I started using the creating the Java files, and then service layer, and then user interface layer, everything it end to end. So this entire process, like we are not involving as part of this process. What we will do is simply like we create a our requirement, and then we ask these agentic coding tools to, hey, can you plan my these are my requirements, can you plan as plan as a development plan. Then it started taking like your high level requirement, and then it will generating your development plan. For example, here I'm going to take one specific real time use case. So here I'm pretty much like more interested in the stock related data, because we have a lot of stock data is already available as part of like a open source library, so which is very good examples to, you can render those data and then you can play with the data. That's why like I'm choosing the stocks data as part of this use case. So here I'm taking the specific use case to building the stock portfolio using the magic formula. So there is a one book called like a the little book which can beat the market. There some author or some kind of investor who teach the kind of a techniques to how to double your income in a 5 years with kind of a strict plan by following the strict investment plan. So as part of that one, he has given some kind of a magic formula based on the different financial parameters, and then that's like a one aspect I'm taking. Along with that aspect, I also added like, hey, you take that formula and then scan for me the tickers or stock which meet that specific plan. Along with can you start using my some of the popular indicators, and then apply some technical analysis, and then give me like a what are the I wanted to start entering the market on Monday, and then I want to exit that one. So give me like a set of stocks. What are the best stocks can I start in Monday and exit in Friday? Such a way like it's keep your portfolio like keep working like this, and then it will help you like investing, right? So this is what like a general use case I have given. So for that, like I have given like a high level information, like what kind of a tools I want to use, because I'm little bit more specific, more clarity on my tools what I have to use. So here I want to utilize the AI to analyze or generating the comprehensive plan and all. So as part of the front end, I'm saying that Streamlit, and then my primary programming language is Python. It's a very high level requirement, like how human generally reading or understanding things. That this is what kind of a you start gathering your requirements. So once you got the high level requirements, right, so then we start like a Claude code to, hey, can you plan my, I have a high level requirements, but I wanted to plan it as a real development plan. So then we'll use like a Claude permission modes because the default mode on the Claude is like a dev mode. Then we explicitly asking like turning to plan mode, and then when you turn to the plan mode, it won't develop any code. So then it started creating a development plan. If you look at the command, it's a very simple command, like permission mode to plan, and then project is a stock portfolio, and then requirement I put it in my requirements.md file. Then I wanted to like finally I want output as a dev plan.md. So this is simple, like it's a plan mode, like we run the plan mode to generate the development plan. So Once we got this development plan, we inject or we send this input development plan as an input to the Claude dev mode. Then this agentic code tool started creating a folders, creating a files, and start writing the code, and then doing like everything. Like, I mean, we really don't need to involve as part of this entire process. We just application, and then it start like you just it will tell you, like, I mean, even if it is starting, if it gets some errors and all, it automatically get fixed, and then finally it come ultimately, like, what it will do, right, it will make the application works. So this like this is a very beautiful thing. So if you really experience it when you are doing this one, that really like it make you feel like amazing. So I experienced all these things, so I thought of sharing with you guys like some kind of steps and all. So this is a basic step to your generating the development plan and then executing the development plan. So now, like, it's a final step, as I said, like we can use this Claude code to in the development mode, and then giving that whatever the plan which is generated earlier uh, to achieve our development goals.